Namaste. Welcome to Satsang today. Satsang is a gathering of like-minded beings, or a gathering of one being in its many expressions as human beings, to begin to not only understand but live as that which is really true. We have believed ourselves to be separate from each other. We have believed ourselves to be not only separate, but in need of everything that we seem to want or need. And perhaps even most of all, in need of this union with the divine, this merging with the real self, the infinite being. We have told ourselves the biggest lie of all, which is that we are different to, separate from, this one being that is the only thing that exists. And it exists as all these human beings, all these species, all these planets, all these galaxies, and even all of these universes. And Satsang then is for the understanding and experiential realization, meaning coming to live as, not only to see, but to be that which is the only thing that exists consciously. We already are it. It is what we are, this oneness, this unitive state, the infinite self. I'm going to call it 100 million names just because it has no name. But we've been living unconsciously. We've been living as a separate self, as someone. And we're all here because this calling in our hearts is too strong to override now. This calling, not even to come home to the infinite self, but to realize that that is what we have always been, because those two things are very different. We can go on a very long search of how to find our way home. And perhaps we've all done that. I know I did. And we're at the end of that illusion now, the coming to realize that I never left in the first place. I never split off from the infinite self. I am that. That is all there is. There never was any separate self, person, any separate entity that back in the eons, millennia ago, whenever that was, decided to split away from God, from the self, from the pure consciousness that is appearing as all of this. And that everything we see and perceive and experience, whether on a subtle inner level or a tangible outer level, everything we experience inside and everything we experience outside through our senses, even our body itself, is made of this same consciousness. Everything is the self. There can be nothing that's not the self. Even the thoughts that say I need to get back to the self are made of that self. Even the unworthiness that we might feel, even the resistance to the process, even the fear, all of it. So talking about it is good, but actually coming to see it is going to change our lives. So I wanted to spend this satsang doing some self-inquiry live here on this session. So if anybody is ready to see, wants to see that they're not actually a separate being, I invite you to raise your hand if you want to go through this with me live here today on this satsang. I will take up to 5 hands. We will go through some 5 people, 5 hands. We'll go through some direct self-inquiry. So we'll do 5 and then we'll see what time it's on. as to whether we can do more. So I'm just asking for 5 hands at this point. We have 3 already, 4 and 5. So that's it for now. We might get time for one more. We'll see. So we'll make a start with Elaine when you're ready. You're quick off the draw there, Elaine.
I'm always going to take the opportunity to self-inquire with somebody.
Let's dive into that. So inquiry is just actually finding out, actually looking and seeing what we are, and we'll go from there. So let's have a look and see together, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. We'll just see how it unfolds. What do you find when you look for Elaine? Taking your time, no rush.
I want to stop breathing a minute to find Elaine. I found that I was holding my breath. There's all sorts of they're not formed thoughts, but there's a searching.
A searching, yeah?
Yeah, a searching.
So in order to find what is real and stable about you, we're going to have to temporarily discount anything that's not permanent in our definite, not because it's wrong or bad, it's just not permanent. So is this searching permanent or temporary? Is it always there?
Mm.
Can you search when you're asleep at nighttime?
Only in dreams. So
Can you search without a human body?
no.
So, and of course, there's nothing wrong with the searching or the body, just putting it aside temporarily is our definition of what I really am, because it is not permanent. So looking again gently, what do you find now when you look for you?
It's making me smile because there is the usual. I hate that word now, resistance. There's a something that's not allowing me to just.
Is that something, is it possible without a body? Does it exist without a human body, that resistance or resistor? Can you resist at nighttime in deep sleep? No dreams?
No.
So putting it to one side.
Right.
And looking again. Or at least not including it in our definition for now.
Yeah.
What do you find now when you look for you?
I'm glad you repeated that question. All right.
If the body and thoughts and emotions and even experiencing itself are all going to be gone one day, what is left? What is you? You're smiling again. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm smiling as feeling I'm feeling this sort of smile. But if it's not in the body,
It's a smile that isn't limited to the body. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's what was making me smile, because I didn't know how.
Where is that smile?
That smile is
You point to it and say it's over here or it's over there.
no, it's here.
Wherever here is, it's here.
Yeah, wherever here is here.
Is it a thing? Is it an object you could pick up, or is it something different?
No. No, I can't.
Noticing that when you notice it, we'll call it a smile.
Yeah.
That your whole body kind of smiles too. Something happens, right? Something.
Yeah.
The body responds. So the body's giving you feedback right now on, yeah, what you're got your attention on right now is real and authentic. You can kind of feel the body's going, yeah. Just exploring that smile with me.
Yeah.
Does it need to wake up to the truth?
No.
Does it need to find its way back home?
No.
Can it feel unworthy?
No.
Can it be ashamed of itself?
No.
Has it ever been anything different than it is?
No.
Good one. And one or two more, if I may. Does it even need you to recognize it?
No. That's very fortunate.
Could this you be, this smile you, be so free that it doesn't even need you, the mind and body, to find it?
Yes. Yes.
Has it has it just shown up now because you look for it, or has it always been there?
No, it's always, yes, it's always been there.
And let's just double check. Is there a you in it? Is there a little Elaine running around inside this smile, or is there just a smile when you actually look?
Just the smile.
So where does that leave Elaine's karmic patterns then?
With the one that's running around. Yeah.
The imaginary one that we can't find when we actually look.
Yeah.
Just wanted to be doubly sure there.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that, yeah, I need to
Wonderful.
do this self-inquiry for and with, yeah.
Wonderful. So just checking in with that again and again and again until it's more and more clear there never was anything other than this smile. New name for it. Yeah, love it.
Yeah,
And everything else I've kind of made up
yeah,
and believed, of course, and everyone
yeah.
else is doing it too. So it's kind of, you know, wonderful. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will go to Ginny.
Hi there.
Hiya. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. What do you find when you look for you?
I get a kind of felt and visual of being like the cosmos, like a great dark spaciousness that's got all these points of light in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just an image, but that's something of the feeling.
And are you, excuse me, are you an object or something different? Are you a thing, a phenomenon?
No, I'm not an object, but there's a sense of not being other than objects. These points of light feel like objects that just appear and go ping and disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel like they're also me.
So yeah, so you are first and foremost not an object, but you can appear as all of these objects.
Mm.
Do you have any edges or boundaries then?
I don't, but I also seem to enjoy playing with them. That's the thing when these points of light go ping, there's this sort of it's like a feeling of something delicious, just this moment of edge, and then it goes away again.
Just
But
because you could, just because you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the unbounded you that likes to play, it doesn't need any resolution from those points of light, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Just kind of lovingly watching them.
Yeah. And some of these points of light are kind of, talking and looking now, I'm looking at points of light that represent things like, the death of my dad last week. So these aren't just trivial things like, oh, a cup of coffee appeared.
Although you can show up as a coffee as well. How many points of light are there then inside?
Just infinite. Infinite. It's very beautiful.
Is there any limit at all to the ways that you can show up?
I don't know.
Good answer. And from there, they're all kind of equally beautiful, aren't they? They're just quite delicious.
Yeah.
So coming right back to this body and mind, or these two body and minds that are talking right now, these 2 points of light. Do we need them to be any different than they are?
No.
Even if they thought they were separate beings?
There's a sort of, what I find is a sort of an appearance of motion, of something that appears and has some sort of flare or flaming and then disappears. And as you say, there isn't a need for them to be different, even though some of that flaming, flaring, passing seems to be very bumpy.
Very bumpy indeed.
Very bumpy indeed. Yeah.
So what happens when perhaps a If the question's too vague, let me know. What happens when a body dies then? Does this point of light go out?
What I'm hearing or seeing or feeling is that this apparent body is already infinite points of light. It isn't one, it's infinite. It's been arising and passing the whole while. Just
Like
like
you said, it's not different to you at all. It's made out of you. Yeah.
just like this endless fireworks show made out of, it's like light made out of darkness, which doesn't make any sense, does it? But
Darkness made visible, maybe something like that we could say, but yeah, just words put on top of that, which you can't really verbalize.
and it's really interesting. There's a very clear emotional response in the body, a sort of sadness, tenderness, joy, all mixed together at that seeing that the body is not one point of light, that it's already infinite points that have already come and gone, come and gone, come and gone. So why would it be upsetting?
It's a universe of cells, isn't it, which are constantly appearing and disappearing, and we tend to want to think of it as one compact unit that stays that way for a long time and then disappears, but it's never been like that.
And I may have misheard you, because I suspect you said a universe of cells, but what I heard was a universe of selves, little s.
That too. That too, yeah.
That was actually really beautiful.
All of the above, yeah.
Yeah, universe of selves, all these different appearances of this apparent Ginny or that apparent dad.
Never the same for each appearance being unique and individual, and never the same twice, ever.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Daniela?
Hi, Helen.
Hi. So I will ask you the same question. What do we find when we look for you?
That there is a body.
Could you speak up a little bit?
Sorry. That there is a body here.
A body, did you say?
Yes, there's a
Yes.
body.
Yeah, thanks. And is that temporary or permanent?
Temporary. The body's temporary.
Yeah. So again, there's nothing wrong with that. We just want to make sure that we're working with something that is permanent. So just gently putting that out of our self-definition for now, the body, and looking again. Again, there's nothing wrong with the body. We just want to find what is permanent about us. So just looking again, what do I find when I look for myself?
Existence is isness.
Isness, yeah. And is that permanent? Big question, I know, so take your time. And it's okay with these questions if you can't answer, just to look and see.
It has no, it's endless. It has no boundaries.
Yeah. And did it come into existence, or has it always been?
It's always been.
Yeah. Because a form or an object can suddenly begin. It can be born and it can appear and it can then die and disappear. But this isness, it's not like that, is it? It's different. It's not appearing or disappearing.
No, it's it always is.
Yeah. And is there a little Daniela running around inside this isness when you really look? Someone separate to it?
Not so much running around inside, but more she arises within
Mm.
the
So what is
expansion.
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, within the expansion and the this is a silly thing to say, but the kind of the relaxation that is this expansion, she arises on a moment-to-moment basis as she arises.
And is she different to this isness?
No, she's enmeshed with this, but she's an expression of it.
Like a wave on the ocean surface of isness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any karmic patterns then, or anything you need to get rid of?
Well, from the expansion point of view, no. But from the person feels that she does. But the expansion just in the expansion, those karmic patterns are subsumed.
And who do they belong to? Can we find a separate person that they belong to? Can you find a distinct boundary between this isness and the expansion of it as a wave?
But there is a wanting to take ownership. There's a pattern of ownership, but there is no person who they belong to.
Did you say there is no person, but there's a...
There is no person, but there is a pattern of sticking, of wanting to take ownership.
Mm.
Ownership.
And does that sticking belong to anyone? Or is it just sticking?
It's just sticking. The sticking creates the person, if you like.
Or maybe it seems to be the person, maybe
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Does that bother you as this isness?
No, not as the isness.
Is there anything other than isness?
Ultimately, no.
Is there a but in there? I can feel a but. If there is...
If attention gets lost in the stickiness, then it becomes bothersome. Yeah, as long as that
bothersome.
view is taken.
So attention goes away. Right now, attention is on this isness.
Yeah.
And attention goes away to the mind, goes to the mind or the body or the stickiness, as we're calling it.
Yeah. Then frustration arises.
In the body, yeah.
And thoughts.
And thoughts, yeah, lots of thoughts and contraction perhaps in the body, but
yeah.
Has anything really happened to you? Attention's like a lighthouse, a light coming from a lighthouse. It turns around and shines on you. You go, oh, I am the isness.
Yeah.
Then it turns around and shines on the mind and body, and everything starts getting all contracted and foggy. But has anything happened to you in that? You're here watching this going on. Mind, body, self. Mind, body, self.
No.
What's happening to you in that?
Nothing. Nothing has happened. There's just attention going somewhere and sticking on something.
So can you identify as the body? The isness, can it even identify as the body? Can it get lost?
No, no, the body arises in the isness.
So the attention, the body, the contraction, the frustration, what are they made out of? Are they full or are they emptiness?
I don't know how to answer.
Say again, sorry.
I'm not sure how to answer. I'm not sure.
Could the body and the faculty of attention be anything different than you if they're arising out of you?
No. But there's a lostness that can happen if there's if the attention gets lost, there's a lostness, that there's an obfuscation that happens, and a panic and a separation.
And is that separation happening to the isness or to the mind and body? Is it happening? Where is that separation? Attention goes to the mind and body, and there's a feeling of separation, a feeling of being lost. Is that happening in the body or in the isness?
In the body. In the body. Yeah.
So let's just be really clear here. When attention goes to the mind and body, we feel lost, we feel finite, we feel limited, perhaps, in the body. When attention goes to the isness, we feel open and free and expanded in the body, light. What's happening to the isness itself?
Nothing.
Is it changing?
No.
Does it feel better when attention looks at it? And does it feel worse when attention looks at the body?
Yes. 100%.
I'm going to ask you a really big question now, and you might not be able to answer it, and it's okay because the question's going to do something inside of you. If you can answer it, great, but if not, don't worry. Can anything at all in the phenomenal world, universe, affect you, this isness?
No, absolutely not.
Not even attention moving?
No, no. It can affect feelings in the body, but it can't affect the isness. It's impossible. Yeah.
And can I ask you one more big question?
Yeah.
You're doing great. Is anything in the phenomenal universe different to you, the isness?
No, no, it can't be. It can't, because it arises in it.
Yeah. So just sitting with that over the next few days, if you want to, even attention, even contraction, even emotion, even so-called karmic patterns, even identification, even thoughts, mind, is made out of me, this isness. It's non-different to me. If you can kind of digest that a little bit, something's going to collapse inside your ability to suffer.
Thank you.
Will disappear.
That's I'm deeply with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, we'll go to Maitreya. Hi.
Hi.
Wonderful. So I'll ask you the same thing. Let's have a look and see what we find when we look for you.
Just space.
Is that an object or not an object?
It's an experience.
Mm-hmm. Is it an experience? Because an experience comes and goes. Is this temporary, this space?
Yeah, it feels temporary to me because it's not with me all the time.
Okay, yeah. So can I poke around at that a little bit? Yeah. So this space, where is it? Is it inside of you, outside of you? Is it separate to you?
Everywhere.
It's everywhere. So where would it go when you're not looking at it, if it's everywhere? Could it go anywhere?
No.
So even when right now your attention is on that space, if your attention went to a thought or an emotion in the body, has anything happened to this space?
No. And it's obvious to me now because I can feel sensations in the body and thoughts arise, but the space doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Beautiful. And is there a you and it? Can you find a you that's looking at the space?
Um, I can't find a you. I can't find an I, but it feels like there's an observer looking at the space.
Yeah. And just checking out, is that observer any different than the space? Looking at the nature of the observer and the nature of space, are they different? Are they two?
No.
Could it be then that the space is self-aware? It is intelligent and aware and recognizing itself.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. If it's everywhere, this space, could there be anything other than it?
No.
No, that's very clear. Could there be anything other than it to recognize it? Anything outside of this space going, ah, yes, this space.
No.
Beautiful. So it must be, and it might not be 100% certain inside. There might feel like there's some doubt still, but it must be recognizing itself. If it is all there is, it must be somehow recognizing itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it using the space? Is it using your senses, your eyes and ears to see itself, to recognize itself?
I don't know.
Can you see that space? Does it have any color or texture that you could pick up and feel with your hands?
No.
And does it have any smell? Could you smell the space?
No.
Is it making any sound?
No.
So you can't really be using your senses to recognize it. Must be recognizing it some other way. Yeah. You want to go a little further? Smiling now. Are you seeing this space with your mind? No. Mind can only think about things, it can't see. So whatever you are, you can recognize this space. What happens in your body? How does your body feel when you ponder that?
Body's feeling very light and permeable at the moment.
Yeah.
Hardly there.
A little bit space-like, huh?
Yeah.
Not quite so solid after all.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So probably just a good idea to spend a little time looking at how am I recognizing this space that I am. For me, when I really checked it through, I couldn't recognize it with my senses or my mind or any part of my body. It became clearer and clearer. I am it. I'm looking from it, at it. It's recognizing itself. And every time I looked, it became more and more certain, obvious, clear, less and less doubt.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well done. Anything else you want to say about it?
It's beautiful. Just talking to you gets bigger and bigger, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done. Well done. Not easy to do it live on the Satsang, but yeah, it did amazing. Thank you. Good to talk to you. And we'll finish with Panchu. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Hi.
Hi. Panchu, it's correct.
Panchu, thank you. So I'll ask you the same. Just having a look and see what you can find when you look for you.
When you speak, I am aware of your voice.
Yeah.
But when you stop, then I'm just aware of my own existence.
Beautiful. So I'm aware of my existence. What is that existence? Can you tell me a little bit? You exist. Do you exist as a thing, an object, or something else, something other? Taking your time, no rush.
Object, immaterial.
Say again.
Just a feeling that I exist.
Yeah. Can you say where you exist? Can you say that you're only there where that body is? Can you be certain that you're only in one place? Your body's in one place, but what about you?
No location. It is everywhere. It has no location, so I can say it is everywhere. It has no limit.
Bodies have locations, thoughts have locations, but you don't.
No.
So do you reach over here to this body too? Is there really a you and a me then?
Repeat the question.
If you're everywhere, your existence is everywhere, has no location, or is present in every location, everywhere. Do you reach as far over here as this body talking right now? Are you the one talking or the one listening? or both?
I would say I am the one who is aware of the talking and the one who is aware of the listening.
Beautiful. How does your body feel when you recognize that?
Just try this type of meditation that I am aware. Just 1 week. So,
Well, I think
so
it's working. It's definitely working.
it is very ordinary. At first it is ordinary, but with practice, then it gets wow and wow.
Yeah, wow. From I am aware to I am awareness in a week. That's that awareness isn't limited or localized, is it? It's not in one place. It's using all of these bodies and minds to communicate with itself. It's talking to itself right now through these two bodies.
This is the biggest joke. This is the biggest joke. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher, so I used to share this with my son. I'm a teacher as if, and there are 5 pupils.
Yeah.
I ask the first pupil a question, and he gives a good answer. It is God asking the question and God giving the good reply. And the second pupil, he gives the wrong answer and he gets a slap. God doing. And the third say, I don't know.
Yeah.
God playing this game. And the other say, what's the question? He is not following the class. So this is the biggest joke. God doing everything through
Everything.
8 billion people, but he makes us believe that we are doing stuff.
Somehow this one infinite awareness seems to divide itself into 8 billion human beings and have 8 billion different experiences. And yet it never actually does. It's amazing.
But what is the point? Yeah, but what is the point of all this?
Maybe it just wants to understand itself or something. Who knows? Or maybe for the joy of it, like this realization.
Yeah, in the Hindu tradition, they say the lila, God's play, lila, because otherwise it will be too boring for him.
If you can
Too
imagine,
boring.
if you were the only thing that existed and could exist ever, what you might want to do eventually is try to appear as all these different things just to see what that's like. Maybe something like that, like you say, the lila. But yeah.
And in order to know something, you have to know the opposite.
Yes.
Without sadness, there is no joy.
Yeah. Without hate, there's no love. We can't recognize love, at least. Yeah.
So this duality is opposites of
Without sense of illusion, there's no recognition of reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to talk to you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
So I will finish by reading 2 questions that have been sent in. Otherwise, I will get a little behind. Okay. So this just says, short and sweet. Thanks for your generous teachings, Helen. Can one visualize healing for another person? Or can we only heal ourselves if we are all one being? So can we visualize healing for another person, or can we only heal ourselves? So I can't really say yes or no to this, right? Because they are the same. If I imagine another person being well I'm going to get the benefit of that as well as that other being, as long as I don't believe I'm separate to them. And if I imagine myself being well, that other body is going to get the benefit of that too, as long as I don't imagine I'm separate to them. So either way, everyone wins, so to speak, in that. The most important thing is, because I could imagine anyone or anything and have a desire for that wellness for that being, and it's going to uplift the whole human consciousness, because there's only one of us, as we were just saying, appearing 8 billion different ways approximately, and that doesn't include all the insects and plants and animal life and seemingly insentient forms, not really insentient at all. So hope that helps there. I'll read one more. Dear Helen, thanks for answering our questions about abundance, lack, and money. Am I understanding you correctly, that the very best thing I can do is to have my focus on the fact that I am everything and cannot be separated from anything, including money, presence, family, my home, etc. Is this the most important thing I can do, rather than asking about thoughts about money and abundance and lack? Thanks for your answers. They deepen my awakening. I am aware that it is who I think I am that writes here, and yet listening to you, Helen, constantly deepens my awakening, my experience of being everything and being without separation. Thank you. Very sweet, Helen. I'm so grateful that you are you. Much love. So thank you. So I don't think this is an egoic sense of self writing this. This has come from the awareness itself. This is a very deep question. No limited being would write this kind of question. This is a question coming from that which is unlimited, saying, what's the fastest way to let go of all sense of limitation and separation and lack, isn't it? There's something deep coming from this. So there is a stage in our evolution where it'd be helpful to focus on the thoughts, etc. But by the time you end up hearing these type of words, the simplest way is to remember or to experience, as we've just been doing, that what I am is not limited to a location, it's everywhere. What I really am is appearing as everything, including this limited sense of a someone that is trying to get back home. And if I am everywhere and everything, there can be nothing that I want or need at all, nothing that I can be separate to, nothing outside of me that I need to get or bring or receive or even allow. And of course, when this every awareness appears as a human being, it wants and it needs quite some time. But the beautiful thing about recognizing who you are and then feeling some want or need arise inside is that perhaps the very next thought or understanding will be, I seem to want or need this thing, and that is just another way I can show up. I can show up as money, as time, as energy, as wellness, as awakening, as realization, peace, as bliss, as fear, as shame, as lack even, and as abundance. I can show up every which way. And so if I realize I'm not separate to anything, everything that I might want or need in my human life is just another way that I can appear in manifestation, then I won't be dividing myself artificially. If I really insist that I want or need something, even something subtle like peace, then I'm saying that it's not here right now. I don't have it. I'm separate to it as well. I want this thing that is not me, is what I'm saying in essence. So I want this thing and I'm ready to show up this way in this body's experience, perhaps the closest you could get to putting it into words. But there's no separation or division in that there. Can you feel the difference? There's no lack. I can show up as the whole universe or money. I can show up as time. I can show up as more than enough energy or well-being or health or whatever it is that we want. And perhaps our desires are just simply showing us what we feel separate to still on some level, some perhaps subtle level. It's certainly been my experience that life keeps showing me things that I can include back into my self-definition, subtle things and tangible things that I thought I'm still holding a separation to. So from I want it to I have it to I am it is kind of the journey we're making here in thought, at least. When I am it, it can never be lacking in my experience because I am infinite. I am infinite supply. And not that I have infinite supply, I am infinite supply. I am that formless ground of all potentiality from which everything arises. It's all made of me, the infinite self. So that question does not come from a limited being, a limited idea of our being. So thank you so much for participating with me today. It's always wonderful to do self-inquiry live and to find out that we're not really at all what we might have thought. And even if we've seen it before, every time we confirm it again and again, our doubt is diminishing. It's more obvious each and every time. That's all a sage has done. An awakened being has just confirmed and confirmed. Can't find a separate me. Can't find a separate me. Still can't find a separate me. And in that, there comes this certainty that grows. That I never was that. I always was this. Whatever this is, I don't know, but this is what I am. With that comes a deep sense of security and love and well-being and all the good things like peace, etc. So thank you very, very much. Namaste.